What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the neighborhood. My name is Andrew Kimball, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about Dead Cells. What is Dead Cells? Dead Cells is a 2D roguelike action game that was released in 2018. It was created by the indie game studio Motion Twin. It has a very bright and colorful pixel art visual style that really enhances the insanity of the world. The goal of the game is to fight your way off of a diseased island by finding items and weapons as you explore procedurally generated levels. However, if you happen to die trying to escape, your run is over and you have to start over from the beginning and try again. Story. The way that the story is told in Dead Cells is quite minimalistic. You gain minor amounts of information through item descriptions and inner monologue from the player character known only as the Prisoner, a gelatinous creature with the ability to take control of dead bodies. When the Prisoner interacts with NPCs, they only communicate through gestures and bodily motions. Since the bodies that the Prisoner controls are not immortal, when you fail a run by dying, you're forced to return to the prisoner's quarters at the beginning of the game to find a new body and attempt your escape again. The plot of Dead Cells is interesting, if not overly complex. The prisoner awakes in the depths of an island's prison and has no memory of how they got there or what's going on. Over the course of the game's many attempts to escape the island, the prisoner and the player begin to piece things together about what is going on this mysterious island. I won't go too deep because I don't want to spoil anything, but essentially there is a disease on the island that is causing the inhabitants to mutate into monsters. The prisoner decides to kill anything in their path with the goal of ultimately killing the island's king and escaping for good. There have been a couple of DLC expansions to the game, The Rise of the Giant and The Queen of the Sea. Both of these expansions add more content to the game in the form of levels and alternate endings. Gameplay. When it comes to the gameplay, Dead Cells really shines. As previously mentioned, this game is a roguelike. What that means is that when you die, you lose all of the items and weapons you've managed to acquire during your run, and you have to start over again from the beginning. While this may sound like a bad thing, there's something addicting about this kind of gameplay loop for me. These runs aren't going to take you more than 20 to 30 minutes, so it doesn't hurt too bad when one goes poorly and you're forced to restart. The weapons you can find during a given run include melee weapons like daggers and swords, ranged weapons like bows, and a variety of traps and bombs, and different shields for parrying and defense. Combat is fast-paced and punishing, so the better you are at building a cohesive build with the weapons and items you cobble together on a given run, the more successful that run will be. This, to me, is the core of the gameplay loop. There's nothing more satisfying than creating a powerful build and dominating any obstacle in your way. While the weapons and items on a given run are randomly generated, there are some things that carry over between runs. As you play, you collect cells that you can spend to buy permanent upgrades or new weapons to add to the pool of potential weapons you could find during your run. There are a ton of weapons and items you can unlock as you play through the game. While I enjoy the flexibility and variety all of these many weapons can add to the experience, they can also get in the way when a run is hindered by random weapons you don't like or ones that aren't very good. The only other minor complaint that I have is that some of the later levels really spike up in difficulty significantly. It wasn't to the point where I couldn't finish the game, but I did want to mention it. Overall though, my complaints are minor and very few. Verdict. Dead Cells is a fantastic game with great visuals, an interesting setting, and fantastic gameplay. I give Dead Cells a B on the F and Gamers review scale. There are some difficulty spikes, and the vast amount of weapons can sometimes be an irritant rather than a joy, but aside from that, there really isn't much to complain about when it comes to this game. I would recommend that anyone who enjoys 2D action games, Metroidvania games, or roguelikes definitely check this out. And if you haven't tried those genres, but you're curious about them, Dead Cells is a great place to start. If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe, and if you want to hear us talk more in depth about games, go check out our podcast. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay friendly, gamers.